What's going on, everybody? Rob A here, and today we're taking a look at Jurassic World Thrash and Throw Tyrannosaurus Rex. I do apologize that I've had to employ shaky cam once again, simply because this dinosaur being fully assembled is, rather large. It takes up a lot of space. It's a good decent length long, so let's do a quick size comparison just while it's still in the package, and show it off with the Legacy Rex, so you can kind of get an idea. Actually, you might have a little hard time getting an idea of the size here. It looks like the tail actually is nearly the same length, which is a little strange, but you can kind of tell by the head size of these two that definitely this is going to be a larger Rex overall. So you got that going on, and I'll show off more once it's out of the package. But for now, I just wanted to show off kind of the packaging and stuff like that. So this is available at most retailers. I picked this up at Walmart, but I know it's available at Target and things like that. Currently, they're running out of stock, but they should restock before long, and you should be able to pick one up. This guy retails, or gal retails, for $40, and that's because of all the electronics and things like that. So it's got a Try Me ability here. You can see that it does all kinds of neat electronic things, such as Gigantic Bite and Thrash and Throw. So it's meant to kind of grab creatures or humans in its mouth, throw them around, and then toss them away. So pretty cool. The box is a little bit beat up, but it was the last one they had on the shelf. So, or actually they had two, but the box was beat up on this, but the paint was a little bit nicer looking overall. So I decided to go with this one anyway. Move tail for thrashing and throwing. You can see it roars, it bites, it stomps. It's got a little button underneath, and of course it is compatible with the Jurassic World Facts app. And on the side here you can see we've got a bunch of the basic figures for the set. This might even, actually, this is the miniature figures, the miniature collectibles. So I don't know exactly why they chose to show off these, but you've got T-Rex, Apatosaurus, Dilophosaurus, Triceratops, Parasaurolophus, Sigmodoc, Stegosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Velociraptor, Blue, Pteranodon, and Baryonyx. I haven't seen Baryonyx. That's pretty cool looking mold. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this gal out of the packaging, and we're going to check her out right now. But first, take a quick look at the UPC if you want to find this in your local store. Contents: 1 dinosaur. Okay guys, so here is the Thrash and Throw Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now the Thrash and Throw measures just about 22 to 23 inches in overall length, and just about 8 inches tall at the top of the head. So this is a fairly large Rex, and the sculpt is very nice. As you can hear, it has the stomping effect, which is very, very sensitive. And again, keep this in mind, I'm going by only one copy of this figure. I only have one copy to go on, so I'm making all of my judgments based on my experience with this particular figure. Your mileage may vary. Anyway, that said, the stomping effect is very sensitive on this figure. I will show off the DNA code, but it is the same code as the Extreme Chompin' Rex. So if you have that figure, you'll have the same exact Rex in your game inventory. There is no change as far as I can tell. There's no different version. When I scanned this, it said that I already had it unlocked. So there you are. Quick size comparison we'll do with the Extreme Chompin' Rex. And I'll pull back a little bit so you guys can get an idea. These guys are very, very different in size. The Thrash and Throw is quite a bit larger. They are almost the same length, actually, which is a little strange, but maybe if I pull back here you can get maybe a better idea. It's really hard to tell on video, and I apologize for that, but the Thrash and Throw is quite a bit larger than the Extreme Chompin' Rex. And I'll show off with the old school Jurassic Park one T-Rex, old red Rex here. Pull up like this. So you can see the old school Tyrannosaurus is quite a bit longer and taller than this version, but I would say the proportions on the Thrash and Throw are certainly better, at least as far as a Jurassic Park franchise aesthetic. It really does capture the look of the films. Now, the Thrash and Throw does have the, of course, Thrash and Throw mechanics installed, and it starts with, as I showed you before, the button on the bottom of the foot that does activate the stomping sound effect. Now, I've noticed a problem with this effect, and that is it tends to make the button has a very decent spring on it, which has a tendency to make the Rex not want to stand up. Now, I've got her standing here, but as you can see, it's only because I've got the feet kind of turned in at a strange angle. So if I straighten out the feet in the way that the sculpt of the leg and feet suggests, and then set her there, you can see instantly that she's on her claws, basically, and the slightest provocation will cause her to fall. So that is a bit of an unfortunate situation. As soon as I'm done with this video, I think those batteries are coming out because, like I said, the sound is very sensitive and easy to set off. Now you've got some posability going on here. You do have the arms, which just go back and forth, which is a little strange, considering you've got more posability out of the Extreme Chompin' Rex arms. Those were at least on kind of a swivel and turn, whereas this is just turns around. And again, that noise. So the hips also have a little bit of wiggle, which is nice. The tail can move back and forth, but it activates it activates all kinds of things, which we'll get into. And of course, they are the segmented body parts. And a lot of people do not like the look of this segmentation. I have to say, personally, at least in person, when you have the figure in hand, you really don't notice it that much. It's kind of the same as any cut in an action figure, or, you know, especially a dinosaur figure. If you look at things like the Beasts of the Mesozoic figures, they have the same sort of cuts. And I think the feathers on those figures kind of help to hide those a little bit better. But I think overall this is, you know, if you want a posable dinosaur, you have to kind of make some sacrifices. I think they did a pretty good job with it overall. Now you can move the body side to side here, and it does cause the sort of snorting sound effects, which is interesting. And you can, of course, push down on this if you want to, and get that mouth opening up a little bit. You can, of course, cause it to do that as well. And all of these effects can be activated by the tail. So you just push the tail down and it grabs a figure. And of course, I'll show off the roaring feature, which it also has. You can push down on the tail and it will do that. Let's see. Now, the only problem I have with this is that the mouth opens, but doesn't, I don't know, it looks a little strange opening. It doesn't quite look very natural. I suppose it does look a little natural, but I don't know. I think the biggest thing that I want in a T-Rex figure that I've yet to get from these Mattel toys is that I want a Tyrannosaurus that I can just pose, and I'd like to have a T-Rex with its mouth posed open, and you really can't do that with either of the options available right now currently. Supposedly there's another Tyrannosaurus coming down the line, but so far the Colossal T-Rex is the only one really that you can pose with its mouth open, but the head is just kind of stuck in that sort of awkward, slightly upward looking pose, which is, you know, it's a fabulous toy, but I do just want a figure that I can pose very much in the way the Extreme Chompin has the neck pose ability. But I would like maybe this much at least jointing in the figure. You know, you move the head from side to side, move it up or down, and you can move the move the mouth open. So, but it does have a lot of play value options, I guess. So let's check out some of this play here. As you can hear, it's stomping all around. We've got our Muldoon figure. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can get this chomping action to work. So we'll go ahead and bring this down. Alright, we've got our victim, and now we can swing it from side to side. And we'll try that one more time here. There we go. Alright. Come on. Roar. Roar, please. It's not roaring. It's fine. I might have broke the roarer. There we go. So yeah, I mean, it does have a lot of play value there. But for me, for an older collector like myself, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. For an older collector like myself, I'm just not going to be really into that so much. I do like the size of this figure quite a bit. I think it's a nice large scale. For just looks and playability, posability, I do actually prefer the Extreme Chompin a little bit, only because you can get those nice poses that you can kind of hold, even though the mouth can't open. But you know, when you do open the mouth, you can hold it a little bit if you want and get those really nice looking poses from that Extreme Chompin Rex. And of course the tail is also posable, which is a big plus. But what I would love to see is a figure in this scale with the posability of the Extreme Chompin Rex, plus, you know, an opening jaw and, you know, a multi-position tail, kind of like the... basically, I want a Tyrannosaurus toy with the posability of the Indoraptor figure. So, you know. I do like this figure overall, but I am a little disappointed with it. Just because the finicky nature of the button, in the way that it pushes the figure over, in the way that it goes off all the time, and just kind of how there's not a whole lot to do with this figure other than the intended action sequences, like, you know, the grabbing and things. But it does that really well, so for that I certainly can't fault it. But overall, you can decide whether or not it's worth your $40. I think it's a pretty cool toy, but it does have some kind of strange issues that prevent me from being super excited about it. I think I prefer the Extreme Chompin Rex just a bit more than this one. So that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and of course subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.